It was December 1961. India captured 4,665 Portuguese civilians, soldiers, and governors. India stated its liberation of Goa, but Portuguese government stated its invasion of Goa. But before we move further, welcome to Leo's Infosphere channel. In this video, we're gonna talk about liberation of Goa or the Indo-Portugal War, which lasted less than 2 days and captured 3,995 troops and 200 sailors. After India's independence from British Empire in August 1947, Portugal continued to hold a handful of ex-slaves on the Indian subcontinent, and the district of Goa, Damandiu, and Dadra and Nagar Haveli, collectively called the Estado India, which in English means States of India. India started its negotiation over these colonies of India at 1950, but Portugal government clearly said no and stated it Goa and other colonies are a part of metropolitan Portugal, and hence its transfer was non-negotiable, and India had no right over this colony because Republic of India did not exist at the time when Portugal captured it. But India continued negotiation till 1953, and on 11 June 1953, India withdrew its diplomatic mission from Lisbon. In 1954, Republic of India instituted visa restriction on travel from Goa to India, which paralysed the transport between Goa to India and Damandiu also. Meanwhile, Indian Union dockers in 1954 boycott shipping to Portuguese India, and on 2 August 1954, armed activists attacked and forced the Portuguese forces to surrender Dadar and Nagar Haveli. On 15 August 1955, around 2,000 unarmed Indian activists attempted to enter Goa from 6 locations, but they were repulsed violently by the Portuguese authority, resulting death between 21 to 30 people. Most of the Indian activists believed Gandhi's non-violent action, and following, India shut its consul office in Goa. In 1956, the Portuguese ambassador Franz Marcelo Matthias, along with Antonio Salazar, argued in favor of referendum in Goa to determine its future. However, India rejected the proposal, and Prime Minister Salazar was armed by Indian government and hinted the threat of armed action. After that, Portugal government first asked United Kingdom to mediate, and then through Brazil, and eventually asking United Nations Security Council to intervene. Mexico offered India government its influence in Latin America to bring pressure on Portuguese to relieve tension. John F. Kennedy requested the Indian government on several occasions to resolve it peacefully. But on 24 November 1941, Sabarmati, a passenger boat passing between Portuguese-held island on Anjadiv to Kochi, Kerala, was fired upon by Portuguese ground troops, resulting death of 1 passenger and injury of a chief engineer. The action precipitated by the Portuguese fears that the boat carried military landing party intent to storm the island. The incident lent themselves to fostering widespread public support of military action in Goa. Eventually, on December 9 days prior to the armed action, codenamed Operation Vijaya was launched. Nehru stated that the continuance of Goa under Portuguese rule was impossible. And American response was to warn India and said if India do any armed actions in Goa, India would not expect any support from the US delegation. It was on Action Day, after receiving go-ahead for military action and mandate for the capture of all occupied territories for Indian government. Southern Command was in charge, and Lieutenant Chaudhary fielded 17th Infantry Division commanded by Major General K.P. Kandet and 50th Parachute Brigade commanded by Brigadier Sagat Singh for Goan territories, and Martha's Light Infantry for the Damandiu operation. Meanwhile, the Commander-in-Chief of India's Western Air Command, Air Marshal Erlich Pinto, was appointed as the commander of all air resource for the assault, and the main target by air attack were: number 1, to destroy the Goa's lone airfield in Dabola, without causing any damage to the terminal building; 2, destruction of the wireless station; 3, denial of airfield to Damandiu; and 4, support to the ground troops. Indian Navy deployed 2 warships, INS Rajput and INS Kirpan, and India's only aircraft carrier INS Vikramaditya, to disrupt any other support to Portugal troops in Goa by any supply like arms and other air support, etc. On other side, General Botelho Moniz told it's a suicidal mission, but Prime Minister Salazar clearly said fight till last man. Portuguese military preparation: according to a report, around 7,500 Portuguese men were there in India, but not getting enough supplies in Damandiu because the Indian government blocked all the routes for the reinforcement, which finally resulted to Indian victory in Damandiu. But Goa was prepared to fight with 1 destroyer. After 36 hours of fighting, finally, with 22 casualties, Portuguese surrendered. In December 1961, when Portuguese 300 years of rule was finally over and Goa, Damandiu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli were finally free. In this whole process, India captured 3,995 Portuguese civilian soldiers and sailors.